Caught my girlfriend, 20F, of 18 months with another girl. Her absurd reaction. I saw people get a lot of responses on here, so I thought I'd create an account to see what advice anyone can offer. Sorry for the essay. Okay, a little backstory. I'm 22, and my girlfriend, we'll call her Jess, and I have been in a relationship for nearly 18 months. She's very attractive, and in all honesty, I wouldn't say I'm a lost cause, but I'm certainly punching a bit. Anyway, last week we were at an exhibition function for our shared university course. It was a fairly normal evening up until I saw her talking to this girl from the other side of the hall. Nothing unusual, I just didn't recognize her. However, when they turned around, I noticed the mystery girl had her hand seriously low on my girlfriend's back. I didn't think much of it at the time, but they were completely inseparable for the entire evening. The next week or so we were unusually distant from each other. I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong before I went away. I was going to Bristol for the weekend, and I didn't want to leave things on bad terms before I left. But she was having none of it, just being really blunt and such. So I left for my parents, who were giving me a lift to Bristol, but when I got there, Mom said the old man was ill and we wouldn't be going, at least not today. So, already angry that she didn't tell me this over the phone, I drove back to ours in a foul mood, and that's when I caught her. The front door was off the latch for some reason, so I didn't need my key. I came in the door normally, but kind of stopped when I heard what sounded like Jess giggling. We live on a ground floor flat, so there are no floorboards to creak. As I got closer, I could hear someone, clearly a female, sound quite breathy like panting. At this point, I thought Jess might have been having some alone time or something, so I was about to make myself known until I looked down and saw a pair of worn pink all-stars that I knew were not Jess's. At this point, confusion was starting to build, and as I turned the corner, our bedroom door was wide open, and there was the girl from the gallery in my fucking bed, and someone was beneath the covers. What the fuck is this? I believe was my first reaction. The gallery girl just stared at me shocked, yet as I called Jess, something strange happened. Absolutely nothing at all. She just stayed under the covers and didn't move. For what felt like the longest time, I just stood there open-mouthed, until I finally shook myself into action and started to leave. Next thing I know, she comes flying out of the door into the hallway of the block, wearing just a pair of knickers and a vest for God's sake, trying to somehow make this out to be my fault. I literally didn't know what to say. She's freaking out, and all I could come up with was, "You're not wearing anything. Get back inside. We'll discuss this later." When I got back to the car, the belated rage began to set in. I was angry she cheated, angry she blamed it on me, and angry I didn't say something else. Honestly, it's the most ridiculous, absurd scenario I've ever found myself in, and perhaps that's why I wasn't so angry initially, but now I'm wondering what to do. I didn't know she was into girls. She never mentioned anything like that, and now she's cheated on me with one, and we're renting a flat together. Is this just her experimenting? Can we recover? Has anyone been in this situation before? I am at my wit's end here, people. TLDR, caught girlfriend cheating on me with another girl, blames me. Edit. I've just realized how insanely British this all is so. Lift equals ride. Knickers equals panties. Vest equals tank top. Flat equals apartment. Relevant comments. The dandy guy in space. Drop her like it's hot. She's trying to justify being a shitty person that ain't yo fault. OOP. That's all I can think of. But there's many other things to consider in all fairness. The dandy guy in space. Look, obviously no one here is going to know the whole story and every detail. Based on the information given, that's probably the best course. Unless you're trying to justify her cheating and looking for validation that it is actually your fault so you can feel good about staying with her. OOP. I don't mean to consider her side. She did the dirty, I know that. But we've literally just committed to a 6-month rental. She's texting all the time saying she's sorry. I just don't want to be too rash here. The dandy guy in space. If you saw her getting effed by a man, would you still hold the same opinion? OOP. I guess not. I wanted to tell myself she was maybe just experimenting, but she was clearly going down on this chick, and I honestly don't know how long it's been going on. The dandy guy in space. Cheating is cheating. Doesn't matter if it's a man or woman. And even if it was experimenting, I'm not gonna accept my so to be comfortable with her coming home to me fucking another dude's butthole, because I was curious. Dave Zoyser. Experimenting or not, she cheated on you. Now there are 2 things you can do: try and patch it up, or end the relationship. Skellum. Actually, based on his edit, it more sounds like she used him to hide her sexuality. OOP. Yet to be honest, the more I learn about this, the more it sounds like she's way past experimenting. Deleted. I mean, she was going down on the other girl. I might be able to believe this was an experimenting thing if it was the other way around. But most girls don't just go from 100% straight to eating the kitty. They just don't. Regardless, it's still cheating. OOP. Honestly, it's this kind of thing that's been going round my mind since it happened. She never let on a single hint she was anything but straight until the moment I found her between another girl's legs. Feels like the whole thing we had has just been a lie. Deleted. Can you go into a little more detail about her absurd reaction? You teased it in the title, but trying to somehow make this out to be my fault didn't really deliver. OOP. Well, partly absurd because she was wearing basically nothing out in the hallway where strangers from other flats come and go, and she's historically quite a modest person. Worse though because she said something along the lines of, "You said you were leaving for Bristol," which absolutely flabbergasted me. Then the nail in the coffin was, "What? So I get all the blame for this?" To which I had no appropriate response other than absolute fury. So I took the decision to calmly tell her to go back inside, and I left. Edit. I've read nearly all of these comments now, and honestly, you guys are pretty much spot on, I'm afraid. I can't go back to her and keep any shred of dignity, especially after I found a gallery girl on FB earlier and messaged her. She admitted it's been going on a while and is desperate for me not to tell anyone. As much as it would be a shitty move, I'm seriously considering outing them both. Knowing her friends, the last thing Jess would want is for them to think she's into girls. I know it's petty, but I'm just so mad right now. Relevant comments. Zinked. In regards to your edit about outing her, I understand that you already said you wouldn't, but please consider before telling anyone anything no matter the circumstances. Outing her could put her in physical danger. With her family, her friends, random people on the street. It's not just a shitty thing to do, it's literally bargaining for her physical health, living situation, friendships, relationships, etc. She did a horrible thing, but nothing calls for that. I'm not a replicant. This is the UK. People aren't as bothered about these things as they are in the US. She certainly wouldn't be in any physical danger. Pretty much all the women I know identify as bisexual. It's not all that surprising when you find out a girl likes being with other women. OOP. Honestly, the worst thing that would happen is that her asshole friends who she used to make derogatory lesbian jokes with would realize how much of a fucking hypocrite she has been this whole time. Couldn't think of a nicer outcome for the girl. Update, 2 days later. Had a lot of back and forth texts with the ex. She stopped saying she's sorry, instead trying to say that I didn't see what I thought I saw, which is hilarious. Here's the kicker though. She told one of our mutual friends, a girl, that we split up because she had a guy around, and I hit the roof and overreacted. Wasn't going to divulge the full story to anyone, but after I heard she had said that I told this mutual friend the whole story. The mutual friend didn't believe me, so I showed her the messages between me and the gallery girl. Now her friends at least know she's a cheat and a liar. Also, I told the landlord I'd like to take myself off the lease because this has happened and he's looking into it. Hopefully that can be resolved in the next week or so. I've also been getting spammed with texts from Jess today, saying I'm heartless and I've ruined her life. Oh, the irony. Final comments. Kelithian. While I sit here on my balcony and smoke my last cigarette for today, bedtime, nothing better has ever satisfied this loneliness of mine than reminiscing about a post I read earlier today by OP, and the result being posted with sweet vengeance. Bless you, stranger. You've made my heart a little lighter. OOP. Obviously, it's a shitty situation all around. And honestly, I was willing to pretty much let it all slide after I cooled off from yesterday. But lying about me to our mutual friends? Nah. Bonita_Applebum. Oh, please tell her this. Like, not in a way that she can reply back cause you should cut her out, but like in a snarky note on a bouquet of the cheapest flowers ever, left on the stoop to your old apartment. She opens the door, reads the start of the note, and feels hope, and then you dash it. But I am a vengeful god. Don't take my advice. OOP. Haha, it's good advice in my opinion. However, I am in constant discourse with the girl despite the fact she is talking absolute nonsense. Bonita_Applebum. Well, here's some good advice then. Stop talking to her. There's nothing to gain from it. I mean, come on, she's obviously an idiot. Thinking back to the first post when she was hugged up in the gallery while you were there. How does a person that stupid manage to feed and clothe themselves? OOP. You are correct. After tonight, I dare say we won't speak again, other than me going over to get my stuff. Deleted. She told one of our mutual friends, a girl, that we split up because she had a guy around, and I hit the roof and overreacted. Wasn't going to divulge the full story to anyone, but after I heard she had said that I told this mutual friend the whole story. Yeah, I suspect once you start lying like she did, all bets are off. She compounded an already terrible situation. I don't think she thought things through. OOP. Yeah, I tried to explain this to her over text. This is completely all her own doing. She at first claimed I didn't see what I knew I saw. Then she tried to explain that people might think I'm making it up, clearly not realizing I'd spoken to the gallery girl over Facebook. I showed her the proof, but said I wouldn't out her if she was honest about it all with our friends. She wasn't honest, so I told them. I really don't know what she thought would happen here. Salted caramel sauce. She stopped saying she's sorry, instead trying to say that I didn't see what I thought I saw. How dumb does she think you are? What was she expecting you to say? Oh, you're right. I didn't see you in bed with someone else after all. I was just hallucinating. OOP. I think she's just in full damage control mode now, and quite frankly isn't making a lot of sense. She'd rather shift the blame back onto me than confront the fact that her slightly homophobic friends now know she's into girls, so she's panicking. Zombie boobies. I can't help but wonder, do you just have to take a moment and wonder what kind of person you were dating? She just sounds so dumb. OOP. Honestly, I know I've painted a picture of an incredibly stupid girl, but that's what makes her actions here all the more shocking to me. She really isn't that dumb. I have to believe that her getting caught in a seriously compromising position is what has led her to act so stupidly, because I have found myself completely dumbfounded at some of the stuff she has done/said since I caught the two of them. What the ex told the friends exactly. I think her implication to the mutual friend was that there was just a guy at our house and no funny business was going on, like there actually was with the girl.